Hello and welcome to the Loretta McNary Show. For years, audiences across America fell in love with the Robertson family through the hit series Duck Dynasty. And one of the young stars, she was a teenager when it first started, is Sadie Robertson Huff. She is today the best-selling author, speaker, and founder of a global movement called Live Original, encouraging people everywhere to live with purpose and authenticity. And her husband is here, Christian Huff, who is also inspiring men through his growing community of 4-8 men. Everybody, welcome. And of course, we all love them madly. Christian and Sadie, hi.
Thank you so much. You're so
Thank you, Miss
sweet.
Loretta.
You know what? You all grew up, Sadie, especially you, in front of the whole world. As a teenager, we saw you growing up. We saw you, doing other things. And so millions of people now are just seeing how amazing you are as an adult, as a mom, and as a wife. So when you look back now, how did that experience shape who you are today?
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, it is crazy to think about. I think because it's my life. Everybody has their own life experience. It didn't seem so crazy. It didn't seem like such a weird way to grow up. But when I look back, I'm like, wow, that was pretty crazy that we started a reality TV show whenever I was, 13 years old. But one thing that's been really cool now being a wife and a mom is that we're getting the opportunity to do the show again for the revival. And it was certainly different doing it as the kid. I just got to step into this cool experience with my family that they paved the way for. But then doing it now as the mom and the wife and, working, it was certainly a lot harder. It was just felt a lot weightier of a decision. And so I got to lean into my mom, not just being a mom to me, but being a mentor and a friend during this season in a way that was such a blessing because she was able to help me through doing it now in the way that she did it, 15, 14 years ago. And so it's just been a really sweet season of a new stage, getting to do something that mirrored something we did in the past, but in a whole new part of my life. It's been really special.
So everything is based on faith and family values. So I want to ask Christian this question, and I love your name. I absolutely love anybody whose name is Christian, and the fact that you are a Christian. To me, I know I could be geeky sometimes, but I think that's so amazing. It's a calling on your life to me. So let me ask you, so marriage is a big part of your platform now, Christian, since you're a part of that family. So what is one practice that helps keep your relationship strong, even in all the seasons of life that you're going through? Because again, now you're in the spotlight too, being a dad, a husband, a ministry leader with your men's organization. So what are some of the values that has to stay forefront, especially being the head of the family?
That's a great question. Yeah, I think for me, there are so many things. I think the first one for me that comes to mind is communication. We call each other, I mean, probably up in the teens times a day, and just constant communication. We talk all the time. And yeah, but sometimes I'll be with like my friends, and Sadie might tell their wives something, and I'll mention something to the husband. They're like, "Oh, I didn't know that." And I'm like, "Y'all, do you not talk to your wife?" So we kind of have that relationship of we always know what's going on in each other's lives. We tell each other everything, and I think a lot of it just boils down to just the communication, and it's not out of a need of of like I need to tell you this. It's more just we're best friends. We do life together, and I think we do a good job of communication. And it's maybe gotten a little more difficult as we have three young girls, and just all the nuances and timings of things with that. But I think for me as a husband and just being married, I think communication is the biggest key, and just talking throughout the day, and when we get home from work and stuff, just keeping that constant communication for me has been the most healthy thing for our marriage.
Absolutely. And you said it best, the communication part. So because Duck Dynasty has been around a long time, and one thing I love about the show, and I didn't get to watch it a lot, but I love how nearly every episode you all ended it around the table. So is that a practice that you and Sadie have, Christian, with your three little daughters? You all still do, because you're busy, both of you, and I want to talk about your organizations, your ministries. So you have a lot going on, but is it still critical to do the family dinner thing together, or are you just everybody's just get a plate and go wherever you go?
Sure, critical. No, we try to do it a couple times a week, and it's funny because we'll cook, we'll have this sweet meal planned out with our family, And then usually as dinner's kind of concluding, it's just the two of us at the table.
Well, I thought you were gonna say a different sibling shows up, because yesterday I cooked for my brother Will and his wife. The day before we cooked for John Luke and Mary Kate, and we definitely are big on family dinners. And because my family all lives in the same neighborhood, you normally start cooking and then more family members end up showing up. But his reference is pretty funny too, because we do try to do the prayer, all the things that we've always done as a family. But we have a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 7-month-old. So family dinners are a little chaotic right now. And we get the prayer in, and then we are lucky if they sit down at the table and eat the meal with us, because they are wild
it ends
kids.
up just being the two of us eating. It ends up being a date night. And
we try.
But we do try to enforce them to sit down, but we can not be the best.
Lose the battle.
3 little girls. I'm a boy mom, right? I wanted daughters, but I'm glad I have the sons because they have been everything to me. So I can only imagine with girls, man, they just come here like we are. We're going to want to control it. We're going to boss it around. We're going to have our own way of doing things. So balancing all that, and then Duck Dynasty, the revival, which is airing on A&E, right? So, and then your ministry, as if that wasn't enough with family and faith and the show. Now you have these ministries. Sadie, yours started as a vlog, and now it's a full-fledged organization. So tell me each of your inspiration for saying, you know what, I need to do this. It's not just something I want. It's a calling, that you felt like it was a calling.
Yeah, it definitely is a calling. If it wasn't a calling and we didn't feel the Lord say, really honestly lead us into it, we wouldn't do all these things. I think that we would probably choose a little bit of a simpler, quieter life at times. We're so grateful for all that God's done, but we certainly feel called to it. I think, especially once I became a mom, because, you have boys, once you become a mom, it's just like, oh, I just want to be with my kids. And I love our girls. And I'm so grateful that God has called us into doing what we're doing and given us the capacity to do both things well, to do motherhood and our family first, and our ministry be an overflow of that, and get to do that as well. And God he gives you the grace for it. He gives you the capacity for what he calls you to do. He equips you for what he calls you to do. That's absolutely true. And if we didn't have God's grace, God's power, the strength to do these things, I think we would certainly be failing in our own strength. But I love when Paul says, when I'm weak, then I'm strong, because he's saying God's grace, the grace of Jesus is sufficient for me. His power is made perfect in my weakness. So we cling to scriptures like that and go, God, if you called us to these things, and let your grace be sufficient. If you called us to this, and even though I feel weak, I'm strong. And we actually feel that. We feel the truth of those things in our life daily. And I'm so grateful for that.
Wow. So you bring all of that to Duck Dynasty, and the new series is Duck Dynasty, the revival. Is it because it is more faith-filled? Because you live your faith out loud, both of you, through your organizations, through your family, through your values. You were raised that way. And so it's called revival. Is it reviving of Duck Dynasty, which is just a phenomenon, how it started to me? And if you don't know, please look it up. But I want to talk about the revival part. Tell people where they can watch it, and why you felt like it was a perfect time for both of you to do this.
Yeah, it's actually really cool, because we kind of, it's been mentioned a lot of times since the first Duck Dynasty ended, would we ever come back to TV? And no one really felt like confident in it being, let's do it. It just didn't make sense for a long time. And then all of a sudden we looked up, and all my siblings are literally working out of the Duck Commander warehouse. We're all living in the same neighborhood. It was like, oh wait, we actually could do this now. Like, this makes sense. We felt like God just kind of opened the door for it. And then A&E was interested. It was so crazy. But the revival aspect is really cool, because after the last Duck Dynasty ended, kind of all of our family went off and did different things, but under the umbrella of ministry, that looked different ways for different family members, but podcasting, books, speaking, all this different stuff. And so coming back to TV again, we didn't choose it to be revival for a spiritual meaning. A&E actually chose the name revival to bring back the old Duck Dynasty, but our family was kind of having this spiritual revival as well. And so it all just kind of came together so beautifully. And you can watch revival now on A&E Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Central, 10 Eastern, also on Prime the next day, and Hulu eventually.
Oh my goodness. I have to let you go because I had 10 minutes, but I want to know if Christian had anything like in 10 seconds that you wanted to add to this.
That's great. Yeah. I love filming the show. I think it's authentic. I think it's relatable to people. You have the faith component, and I think it's just core family values that I think people will enjoy and relate to, and maybe aspire to live that way.
Absolutely. For such a time as this, for sure. So faith family and the pure joy that the Robertson family and then Christian Huff with his values and his family upbringing all meshed together in one big, beautiful bowl, making it happen for all of us. So thank you so much, Christian. Thank you so much, Sadie, for being my guest today.
Thank you, Miss
so
Loretta.
much. You're so sweet. We appreciate
Tell your
it.
grandma happy birthday for us.
All right. She's in heaven, but she hears you. Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.
So they have to go because they're doing this whole circuit telling the whole world about Duck Dynasty, the revival. So I'm just so grateful that they were here today. And so the revival, Duck Dynasty revival, Saturdays at 10 p.m., 9 p.m. in your area, or 8 on A&E. So think positive, dream dreams that are so big it scares you, and then help someone else along the way to do the same. Bye for now, everybody. We do have another segment coming up later, so don't go too far.